Pork burgers no more. This is fantastic. This pork is loaded with apples. Yes, apples. Pork chops and apples, they go together hand in hand. Take the FN sharp paring knife and cut down just off center while the apple is standing up on your cutting board, and you'll get 4 kind of cheeks of the apple. And then go ahead and take that paring knife and make some slices. You can go all the way through or just about all the way through. And then kind of like an onion that you've seen in other videos, I'm going to go horizontally against those initial cuts and then cut down across those. And that's going to give me a fine dice of these apples. Of course, there's many different ways to cut an apple. There's no right or wrong. It just depends on what you're using them for. I want to get something a bit smaller since this is going in with ground pork to make up these pork patties that will ultimately go into this pork burger. You can just simply slice your apple cheek into slices and you kind of get almost a half moon, a half circle slice there. You can go thick or thin. You can even stack these on top of each other and cut down in the middle, stack again, turn 180, cut against what you just cut, and you'll get a little bit bigger of a dice. So it's up to you depending on if you're making a chutney, a type of sauce, or like this, we're going for a finer kind of mince to go in with the pork. I'll add in some ginger. That's what I was pointing at, just some pickled ginger. Then I'll grab the FN sharp Santoku knife and just cut into some scallions, just making some simple rounds here. This will add a ton of flavor also to the pork burgers. I'll get that into a bowl later, but first into a jalapeno. And I'm just using half a jalapeno here and then cutting down that tip in half, then into slices, or you can cut lengthwise and make these strips and then kind of pile them all together so they're all facing the same way, and then cut against those into like a fine mince into a bowl with the scallions, with the jalapenos, the apples, and the pickled ginger. Give it a good mix and make sure that you season with salt and pepper. It's got to have seasoning all throughout. You're going to form into patties. These patties are going to go into the fridge first to allow them to set up. I'm using this cool burger press. You don't have to. You can form by hand, but in the burger press, I sprayed each side down with a little nonstick spray, and then I'll go ahead and give a nice even press to it. And then what you'll see here is you just get a nice uniform patty. But again, doing it by hand is absolutely a-okay. Then we'll get a pan over medium to medium high heat, in with a little oil after the pan comes up to temperature, and let your burgers just go for about 4 to 5 minutes per side. You're looking for an internal temp of about 155 to 165. Let them rest for just a few minutes. Then we'll go down on some brioche buns with some spicy mayo, and then I took some slaw and a nuc mam sauce, which is a Vietnamese kind of all-purpose sauce to flavor up the slaw, and then to top it off with some fresh cilantro. You can even squeeze a little lime juice on top. Top it off with the top bun, and dinner or lunch is served. These are so flavorful. Check out fnsharp.com for this and much, much more.